Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
How are you, Hector?
I'm doing fantastic as usual.
Cool.
So, yeah. So you're we're actually recording 2 podcasts tonight.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that's because you are going, as you say, on holiday.
On holiday,
Yes,
baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm heading over across the Atlantic to go and see my family. And it has been, it hasn't been that hard. I think it's to organise, but it's just on top of the fact that, we're already traveling a long way and it already has its own stresses and stuff like that. The rest of the stuff that you got to do has just made it pretty stressful.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to just getting there and being there,
Oh, sure.
Getting it all over and done with.
No, I'm sure, man.
Yeah, man, but it's cool. Like, we've got 2 very different acts that we're talking to today, and it's just been a lot of fun all hanging around in the studio.
It's been crazy fun already, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready to jump in. You ready?
Yeah, totally. So we've got Tyler, Joe, and James from Butch and Fat Doobs. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Hello.
Hi.
So James, of course, plays with me and Hector in Killbillies, and Tyler did a long time ago too. But we're here to interview you as the wonderful Butch and the Fat Doobs. I know that you guys have been in this room quite a few times, haven't you?
Quite a lot. We're in here all the time.
Done a lot of live streams in here and stuff.
Yeah, we've done a lot of recordings too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really recorded in here as well.
Yeah, the Christmas album was recorded with Justin and Live Music Community.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's cool. So why don't we jump straight into these questions then? And I'm going to start at my end, and we'll just work around. And I'm going to ask, this question is just an interesting one to ask everybody. Why did you start playing music? Like, what was it like in your early life that kind of drew you towards music?
It's a good question. I get that asked not too frequently, but my parents always played music throughout the house. My dad in his garage would be playing different music than my mom would in the house.
Yeah.
And my dad was super into music, but he never really took it seriously. Played,
Right.
But he was always interested, and he bought like most instruments that he didn't know how to play, and so I just kind of conjugated to the drums. I like them a lot.
Right. That's awesome. What kind of music were your parents listening to around the house when you were young? What were your early influences?
My dad was listening to like Zeppelin, Sabbath, Pink Floyd, cool. Frank Zappa, and my mom was listening to, I don't even know. I like my dad's music a little bit more. But
I love your mum, Jean. She's cool. Yeah.
Shout out to Ty's mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going way back. Hi, Jean. All right, Joe. So what about yourself? What prompted you to pick up a guitar and start playing music?
So mine's not as cool. I'm a big nerd, and I got so into Guitar Hero that it was time to play a real guitar because
someone else has said that as well. Joey Calderillo, that reggae guy. Yeah, it was exactly his answer as well.
I mean, it was that I was a kid at the time, so it just had a cultural impact. I think it made the next generation of rock musicians.
Sure.
So when you picked up that guitar for the first time, did you look at it and were you perplexed as to where the buttons were?
Oh yeah, it's like there's no way you can glean anything from that game that will help you play guitar at all, other than maybe like rhythm and timing.
Yeah.
But no.
Just the stance, right? Your power stance.
There you go.
That's about it.
I was kind of surprised to find out that when you play in band and you play live, you can't. Tilting the guitar up doesn't add any extra value. There's no star power. No one looks at you like you're doing anything cool.
That'd be awesome if you were like on stage and you got star power when you did
I think we should just do it one time and see if a crowd gets it.
I reckon if you do the thing where you know how some like punk bands and stuff like swing the guitar all the way around their bodies.
Oh my God.
I think that probably gives you star power. Like,
yeah, I suppose.
I've seen
Need
so
some
many
really good
fails
strap
of
locks
that.
of that. Yeah.
What about you, James? How come you started playing music?
I started playing music a lot later in my life. I was actually really, really bored in the military, and I had nothing to do but really like drink, and I needed to find something else to do.
For sure.
Because otherwise, I was just like, that was all I was doing.
Yeah. What did you start on?
Bass.
Right.
Bass was my first instrument.
And so that bass that I've been borrowing, that little red one, is that the first one you got?
Yeah.
And you had that up like in the army and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so in terms of like your family life when you were young, did your parents listen to music when you were growing up?
All the time.
What kind of stuff?
Everything. My dad was like a Beatles and Elvis person, and my mom was like Linda Ronstadt.
Dominic
and
the Donkey.
That was more my dad. That was definitely more my dad.
I don't even know what Dominic the is that
That's on the Christmas
it's on
album.
Christmas
That's the
album.
one where
Okay.
that's the one where Joe is doing the donkey noises.
and that's like is that like an Italian?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
never
very
heard it before.
I
folky.
hadn't heard of it. Yeah, other than
It's a very
when we did it.
folky Italian.
Yeah,
thing.
I never heard of it until you guys put it on the album, and now it's like my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I did hear it today. Now thinking about it, and I was wondering, like I was thinking to myself, what
Where the
is
hell
this?
did this come from?
Yeah, Ben
It's
said,
an amazing story if you actually like listen to the words, because it's like about a donkey that helps Santa deliver presents because Santa's flying reindeer can't climb the hills of Italy.
Somehow.
Right.
Like
Can't fly over, but they don't fly some.
which makes complete sense, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. The whole
So you
song.
need a donkey.
Yeah, so you need a donkey because
Yeah.
that's the only thing Italians have.
Yeah, Ben sends me a random text today. He says, I'm listening to the Butch Christmas album. He says, I'm listening to Christmas music in June, driving down A1A. He goes, I think I'm losing my mind.
It was a very strange experience. I had it on real loud. There was a storm coming in. It was super humid, but the sun was still out. And there was all these people in beach clothes running up from the beach. And I was blasting Christmas music. I had to pull over and just take a minute. I was like,
I have to collect myself right now.
That's amazing.
totally. So this is a fun one. And I'd like to hear from all of you on this one. As Butch and the Fat Doobs, do you guys have actually? Why don't you nominate someone to answer this? Do you have a writing process?
Yeah, we do, in a way. Either the music comes first or the vocals come first.
Right.
And then we all kind of collaborate. You know, I've wrote choruses. James has written choruses.
So do you sometimes write the words together?
Sometimes.
So do you all write the words together sometimes?
Yeah, Joe helps a lot too.
That's awesome.
And then the music, obviously, like each instrument we'll kind of learn our own way on each instrument of what song and what the song needs.
Right.
But
Ty does a lot of our like really good writing. He brings a lot of stuff other than just the drums to it. He'll bring like rhythm lines and just like melodies and stuff like that for us to work with randomly. And it like some of that stuff's like the songs that we're gonna end up playing later today and stuff like that. It's gonna be
Oh, cool.
a lot of the stuff that he wrote.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting because I know that like through working, I mean, you know, you and I have played a lot together, but we've never done a huge amount of writing together. We did do a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was a couple of times where we wrote together, but you know, I've done a bit more with James. I know he's creative, but I didn't realize how much of the writing process you were responsible for. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, technically, I guess you could say I'm Butch and the Fat Doobs.
Right.
That's what they like to say.
Yeah.
But
He is.
I don't
That's
want to
cool.
go. You know, I'm not saying my name is Butch though.
But you are.
It would be a pretty
but
cool name.
I am.
That's great. So, like individually, when you guys are, I know James does because he's been getting it better at the banjo, leaps and bounds. But do you guys practice? Yeah,
Yeah.
like individually, yeah. Like,
I think everyone would say not as much as they'd like to, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. You were saying earlier, Tyler, that you're taking a little break from the drums. Is this?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'm in right now is Butch and the Fat Doobs.
Right.
Which is pretty light for him because for a while he was like the rest of us who had like multiple projects and
14
played all
bands.
the time.
Yeah. I played a lot with a lot of different people, a lot of different genres.
Teaching and everything else.
Doing all that stuff, you know. I kind of want to take a break from that and find my passion again for it because it was getting too, you know, got to pay the bills, got to pay this,
Yeah.
got to make the money. It wasn't consistent enough. So, I don't know. I'm working on it.
I know what you mean about like, you know, because I've been playing just so much for so many years,
Yeah.
and I definitely lost heart, you know, a couple of years ago. I wasn't really feeling it that much, but I did manage to get it back, and I think, you know, just getting like a good frame of mind about it, and
Yeah,
actually
for sure.
experiencing joy through doing it is so important. It's like what you're doing it for otherwise.
It's
you
like
know what I mean?
any kind of job, you know. You gotta
Yeah.
like what you do.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
He won't tell you, but it's because I'm in the band that he's happy now. So.
you're a
Well,
great
it's
fit,
not,
dude.
not
You're a great
because of that, I
fit.
tell you.
I love the band more because you're in it.
Absolutely. So like when it comes to practicing guitar, how do you go about it? Do you sit there and like run scales and stuff like that?
I should do it a lot more.
Yeah.
No, I usually actually use time when I'm practicing or playing alone to try to get creative and write stuff, because this band leaves me a lot of space to do. I'm trying to do a lot more melodic stuff in our songs because we just have a lot of space for it.
Sure.
So I'm usually doing something like that. I should probably practice my scales more. I only practice them when I'm trying to write a solo that I can't write because I'm so out of shape.
Right, yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, it's I like to play guitar. I've got a new keyboard that I've been using lately too, so my hands have been on other things lately.
Are you going to try and sneak that into Butch, do you think?
Maybe
That'd be cool.
if they let me.
You know, I would really never say no to this.
Yeah, maybe.
That's pretty cool, man.
Butch and the Electric Doobs.
I'm
These first century dudes. Oh my God! No, if he's doing me a guitar, I'm doing it. No freaking way that he gets to do the guitar.
I'm sensing the next Butch album is going to be an 80s themed album.
Neon outfits and all.
Hell yes. Leg warmers.
80s music has been like popular literally since the 80s, but I feel like right now people are nuts for 80s music. Just feels like another little bubble of it is happening, you know?
Yeah, because they're really loving, like, accepting the cheese of it and just loving it.
Just running with it.
Yeah.
Totally. Pretty.
Pretty and pink.
Yeah, with Killbillies, we've been trying to learn some new 80s tunes, haven't we? We need to sort of get on that one a little bit more.
We do.
So, when you're picking your covers for Butch, like, how do you go about that? Like, what's your sort of? Is it just songs that you like, or do you kind of have a method for picking covers for Butch?
It's songs that we like and songs that we think would really like play well into the style that we do, like would sound really cool in our style.
Right. Yeah. 'Cause I know I've talked to you about it before, and you know you've been like, you didn't want it to be like a really just intense kind of, you know, like balls to the wall punk thing. You know, it's more like you want it to feel more like rock, you know, like kind of. You know, when I've heard you play it totally does sound like that big, full kind of rocking sound. And it's more punk than not, but it's not like, you know, skate punk, you know.
Right.
We call it rock punk.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and him have more rock influences, whereas James brings the punk in.
Yeah.
Which we both, you know, like punk now because of James's influences and stuff, you know.
It's fun to play too.
It's a lot of fun to play.
And you can tell, like, the first album was influenced mostly all my music. A lot of it was stuff that I brought writing that I had been writing for years and been doing that was all punk influenced.
Yeah.
And now, like, the new album was a lot of the stuff you heard today and some other new stuff from even me that is influenced by what I've been playing with them and stuff like that. So we're evolving more toward the rock side. A lot of our new stuff has just totally different sound. Goodbye is it's a metal song.
Right.
Like, that's like a metal and rock song. It's not really a punk song at all. And like there's a bunch of other songs that we have that are just not.
Yeah, because that
in
first
that
album
fit.
is very punk, and there's a lot more ska and reggae on it than you'd care to admit as well. Which
I always feel like I'm obligated to put some sort of ska in there. Because I like the upstroke, and it's like just because we do that, it's like that's why we're not allowed to have a horn. Because if we do that and have a horn, we're
now a
instantly
ska band.
And it's like, no.
Well, you know, I wouldn't
Gotta get
be
the plaid
complaining.
out.
I know you would.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. You just said a few minutes ago how they have such a big sound, and that's actually one thing I've noticed going to see you guys, you know, several times now, that for a 3-piece band, you know, you guys do have this like enormous sound coming off the stage, you know, and it's not like I've seen other 3-piece bands and they have extra tracks or they've got loops or they've got whatever, but I mean, you guys are just flat out just raw, man. Drums, one guitar, one bass, a couple of vocals, and you know, and that's it. You know,
I
or 3
think the
vocals
combination-
sometimes, you know, and it's pretty amazing,
Totally.
like how the wall of sound that comes off. You know, like when I see you guys at Prop, it's like deafening almost.
Yeah.
You know, it's like crazy.
I think the combination of the way that that you have your bass set up and dialed in with that kind of mid-rangey, punchy tone, and like, you know, just what you're doing with the guitar just really fills up that whole space.
Yeah,
you know?
we both like
We're both kind of tone nuts.
Well, yeah, and we're tone nuts for spots that like are totally different areas. We don't really overlap our sound. We take up two big fat areas in our own sections.
Yeah.
He has like a super crunchy tone, has a lot of like good solid crunch on there, but a lot of mid and bottom as well.
Yeah.
And then I pick up right at the bottom of his and hold that all the way into the lows.
Yeah. Have you ever experimented with like two separate cabs? Have you ever done that? Tried to mess around with that stereo type of thing?
Yeah, so like when we did the Christmas album, I actually did a take out of my rig and a take out of the Marshall stack that's here.
Right.
And
That's cool.
we did that on every track.
That's
we
awesome.
did one on each amp and each system. It sounded great.
Yeah, that's why that album sounds freaking full.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
it sounds really
the
good.
opening of that one with like the first and Rudolph, man, it's
Yeah.
just like
Just hits you.
boom.
Yeah.
It's a lot of energy behind it.
No, I was really into it today.
It's like what 300 and something beats per minute.
I don't
I think
know.
it was like 380 or something like that.
It was fast. It was fast.
For a little bit in Sonic Boom 6, I had two cabs live, but it just got to the point where it was like a van. Like, it was cool, and it did sound like there was two guitars. You know, it was basically the same tone, but the two cabs were really different, so it sounded different out of the two cabs. I just had them one on either side of the stage.
But that's not the same as having like an actual other guitar
No,
in
it's
any
not.
way.
No.
It'll add fullness, but it won't add what another guitar can really add in the end.
No,
you
you're
know.
right. Absolutely. You're right. I was just, thinking about it in terms of like how you achieve that three-piece fullness, because I was the only guitar player in Sonic Boom 6 as well, and I was kind of trying to come up with all sorts of different ways to fill it out as well.
I don't know. His amp is freaking tiny.
It's surprisingly simple, actually.
It's like every time we're up there, and he doesn't even turn it up, and it's there's so much coming out of it. It's amazing.
So is your bass cab though. You have the isobar.
Yeah, you have that tiny
The
little
little
the
isobaric,
little minor 212s. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Little baby.
It's tiny.
And I've used it in outdoor gigs, and it's been more than enough volume.
Yeah.
Something which I think is really seeing as we got you on here, James, something I think is really interesting about you is that if someone asked you, you wouldn't say that music was your first thing, and yet you're probably more busy than like 95% of the musicians down here, which I just think is really cool.
I have trouble saying no.
But I think,
Right there with you, man. Right there with
really
you.
tough.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's awesome and inspirational, really, and just a testament to how much you can do if you just put your head down and do it.
Yeah.
Like something I've always respected in you since I've known you is the amount you get done. It's really pretty impressive.
Yeah, I call him, what is it, Bob the Butler?
Bob the Butler.
He's got like every job under the sun.
It's true, man. Yeah, to go from the army to cutting hair and also being like a litany of bands of completely different styles is
I
pretty
also
cool.
worked on
there's a whole
cars.
list.
I've worked on cars. Yeah, that's right.
I was a cop in the military, so I did security as well. And
Right.
did stuff like that. I cooked for years.
Oh, that's right. You did
literally
cut through names, yeah.
I can do a job anywhere.
There you go. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we just threw you into the Australian outback.
I'd be fine.
Before you know it, James is like running a restaurant out there.
Yeah, I'd just be like cooking up kangaroos.
Wrangling kangaroo wrangler.
Those are sacred.
So, in terms of like bands down here, and the scene and stuff, like who do you kind of feel like Butch so ideally plays with, and what sort of bands do you like down here, and like where do you feel like you sort of fit in the punk scene down here?
And two-part question there. Who have you not played with that you would like to play with?
Yeah.
That's
kind
a
of
good question.
It's a bit of a difficult question just
I
to
would
get
like to
thrown.
play with the
right?
Bastard Sons.
Yeah.
I've never actually played with them.
Yeah.
Seen them a couple times. They're really, really cool people. They always bring like a ton of energy to like shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Always wanted to play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
they're
call.
sick. Totally. Like, have you ever played a show with the Muggles?
Yeah, a long
Yeah.
time ago. I
they
think
have.
with prop with like a
It was a prop because I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
the pirate one.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin's the drummer in No Name Scar Band now, the singer
Oh,
from the
okay.
Muggles.
They're freaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool as shit. I like them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's
Because
kind of...
we randomly fit with them We don't really fit with a lot of like the like a lot of the punk bands are really like hardcore punk bands, and we have a few songs that we can do that are in that realm.
Yeah.
But our entire set really doesn't come off that way, and we end up getting paired with bands a lot of the times that are like hardcore freaking bands.
Yeah.
That's why we try to run away from the punk thing, because if you say that, everybody thinks that you're like death metal and hardcore.
Yeah, yeah.
And we played like multiple shows where they're like, we were the only band you could read our logo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just like, and then we go up there and we're like singing harmonies and like douchebag singing, and like everybody's like, what the
there's
fuck
a lot.
is
There's
this?
a lot of
these
pop
guys?
there's a lot of pop in your sound, and I think that is a great thing. But you're right, like there's not like a million pop sort of poppy.
No,
kind of rock
there's
punk
one
bands
that
out
what's that one band that I like playing with? It's a pop
I'm
punk
really
band.
bad with band names.
Um,
We've played with them. I know. I'm sure I know who you're talking
oh,
about.
it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. But they're a really good band. I'll think of it in a minute, I'm sure. Rideshare.
No, there you go.
Oh, there you
Rideshare.
go.
They're
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. Like they're a really, really cool pop punk band. They sing with harmonies, stuff like that. I enjoy playing with them. They seem to fit us closely.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
closest
yeah.
fit that we've played with for sure.
Yeah, there was this great band that we used to tour with in Sonic Boom 6 that just did that. There was some similarities to you guys. They were originally called Pickled Dick, but they changed their name. They changed their name to Mike TV, but they were great. And it was
That's completely like two ends of the spectrum,
I
man.
know, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting change.
I know.
Someone had a kid.
But they were great, and they had a similar vibe, like the 3-part harmony and the kind of the sort of the mid pace kind of thing. So in Killbillies there's this stupid thing where there's a speed that Killbillies can't play at, right? Which is like, it's hard to explain, but we can do half time and we can do double time, but there's this like mid pace where everything just falls apart, and like every now and again I accidentally count us in at mid pace, and the whole thing just
And
falls
we all
to
have like an
pieces.
instant panic attack. Mid-pace!
yeah. It's become this stupid like kind of private joke thing. So in terms of bands down here, you're actually more busy than most in terms of like getting out of the state. Like you've done a bunch of touring. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why don't you tell us about it, Joe?
Yeah. So our last trip, actually, we went to where I'm from. So I grew up in Wisconsin. So we did like a Midwestern tour. We stopped in like Michigan. I think we did Tennessee on the way up too.
Yep,
But we
Murfreesboro.
were mostly in. We did Ohio too, but we were mostly in Wisconsin. We bounced between Madison and Milwaukee.
Right. That's awesome. I've never been
that
in
was
that area of
fun.
the country.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
Milwaukee.
I love Milwaukee.
It's a fun place to be.
It was great.
Yeah, that's definitely probably one of my favorite cities that we like toured in so far, outside of Boston. Well, yeah,
Boston was cool too.
Jersey.
Yeah. Where did you play in Boston? Can you remember?
Alston,
Right.
O'Brien's.
Okay. Yeah, I think that Sonic Boom 6 has played there before.
It was nice. That was
Yeah.
cool. I like that too. That was a
Yeah.
fun one. The
whole
Jersey
Jersey
was
flag
one of
was
my
cool.
favorite ones.
Yeah, Jersey was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm from New Jersey.
Did you get out to Asbury Park? Did you play in Asbury Park?
No, we didn't play in Asbury.
No.
We played in Trenton, and we played.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, it was
Trenton.
amazing.
Woo.
Trenton train station.
Yeah.
It was the Millhouse basement. I've met a
was
few
awesome,
other people
though.
that played there. It's such a small little shithole, and it's so much fun. And it was just like really
It's a
like
basement punk show. There's something about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's what yeah, totally. That's some of my best times of my life have been in those when you're literally in the basement of a student house,
Yeah.
and like the plaster's falling off the ceiling.
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
like,
You can barely like even leap up a little bit because my short ass is hitting the fucking ceiling.
A lot of crab walking.
we played in New York with the Nirvana tribute a couple of times, and I remember this one show they hired us for this club called the Pyramid Club, and we were all excited because Nirvana had actually played there before they had gotten big. So we were like, man, this is great. We're going to play the Pyramid Club. And I didn't know what the Pyramid Club was. So in my head, if Nirvana had played there, it's got to be a cool place, right? And when we got there, it was just like you're saying, it was this shitty little tiny, closet-sized basement, and like one way in, one way out. You're thinking if there's a fire, we're screwed, And it was just the tiniest little shithole of a club, but Nirvana played there, so that was cool for us.
Yeah.
But
It was a fun
it
club.
was so
Yeah.
tiny though.
Those little
Those are more
places,
fun.
they get tight, they get fun,
Yeah.
and people get rowdy.
Yeah. Well, it only takes 10 people to pack the place, so.
Yeah.
Totally, those small venues for a punk band is what it's all about.
No stage.
I would take a small venue with a band I love over a big gig any day of the week, like to
Absolutely.
watch, because the energy in the room is just, it's indescribable, and that's something we've been bereft of over the past couple of years. I'm sure it's hurt Butch because like the kind of band you are, it's like No Name Scar Band in the sense that there's not a huge amount of point in playing like a spaced out gig. It's not really. You can do it, but it's like it's so not the point of it.
Yeah.
Killbillies could kind of do our thing because we could just sort of tinkle away in the corner of tiki bars and stuff, and it was fine. But for rock bands, it's just been
rock bands. It's been terrible because rock bands like big energy, a lot of people.
We're not
masses.
background music.
It's just not that. And like we've done gigs, like Butch has done 4-hour gigs and done tons of like covered type gigs and stuff just to get like pay for the recordings and stuff like that, and pay for along the tours. And it's definitely like always weird for us because even our lightest songs come out with so much energy.
Yeah.
And like it's hard to like contain it in places where people are eating and you're just like, all right, like trying to like play back as much as you can. It's like still just blaring loud because it's a full drum set and it's a lot.
Totally.
Well, your covers are always real fun too, man. Like you guys do, a lot of your covers. I wouldn't say are even covers. I would say they're more like original covers.
Like
you guys just like Killbillies. We do stuff there. You guys do the same thing. I mean, like you have songs that are covers, but you've made them your own. It's like in your style.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's
that's the way to do it. Totally,
obvious,
as a cover band.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and it makes it more fun in general because people like to hear the songs, but unless you're really gonna frickin' nail it exactly right and be a tribute, then do something different and make it sound fun and be like, oh, I like it in this style. I like it in this style.
Yeah,
you catch people off guard. So they
and
get
like
excited
people that
about
aren't into punk, if you play them like Elvis in a punk fashion, they're like, oh, that's awesome. Like Burnin' Love.
Yeah.
Burnin' Love. People love that thing.
I love that you do a Jaya the Cat song. I didn't even know people knew who Jaya the Cat were until you said you did that.
No one else really does.
Yeah, because Sonic Boom 6 toured with Jaya the Cat like a bunch of times back in the day, and then when I saw you were doing a Jaya the Cat song, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what? That's amazing.
I love that. It's one of my favorite songs. It's just like a really, really like
that's government.
The
sound,
word,
right?
yeah, the words in it are great. The song is fun.
They're a great band. They really are. They've stuck at it through the years. They're real salt of the earth too. Great guys. Yeah, totally. But all right. So I know that you've been working on an album and stuff. Where are you currently at with that? With new
We
recordings?
have about 7 or 8 songs that are ready to be recorded. We had a recording that of about 3 of them. 4.
Yeah, 3 songs.
We had
It
3
was like
songs that
almost 2 years ago
were
already.
done, but we ended up losing that just by technical errors and crap like that. So we like had it, but then we ended up losing it. But now we've kind of revamped on those a little bit, which is always a nice thing. When you come back to something, it's always going to be different than it was before. So now we've got about 7 or 8 that we're pretty much scheduling to go into record at this point.
Nice.
We're like, we literally sent Justin the messages and was like trying to figure out when we're going to start setting everything up to do it.
Are you going to do it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
cool.
Yeah.
You think an EP, or are you going to keep adding to that and do a full-length album?
Honestly, I think we're going to start like releasing singles. I
Yeah.
want to start
Yeah.
releasing just singles.
That's the way to go.
That's the way to go because we want this to be a full album. There's a lot.
Eventually
of stuff
there'll
here.
be an album, but it's more. Eventually, I want to make a vinyl album. However many it takes to get to whatever that is, and make a nice dope vinyl album.
Yeah.
And might even take some of our old songs and re-record a couple of them that we really want to like freshen up and like we do differently. We had a different guitarist earlier on, so things were like he came on, did him his way, sort of, but now does some of them totally different. Some of them I would like to add vocal harmonies on, or like he was saying, melody lines.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have any. They could definitely use them and stuff like that. So
It's Yaz is recording it, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just about to, in a couple of weeks, I'm just about to start working here actually. Tyler, you teach out of here, and Yaz.
You used to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. And Yaz Yaz teaches out of here, and it's a cool spot. Yeah, where we're sitting. It's like going to be my new place
Congrats,
of work.
dude. Congratulations.
Welcome
That's
home.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally. So if anyone wants to have lessons from me, come to this place where we are right now.
Well, music community is down there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's off Northlake. Come and check it out. Yeah, so in terms of future plans, are you starting to plot getting back on the road again or anything? Have you managed to?
Yeah, I definitely want to. With this whole, COVID crap, it's been weird getting to, but now it seems like everybody's starting to get out, and I think for next off season,
Right.
we'll probably set something up around
You just started a business this year too, so it's
Yeah.
got to be hard to say I'm going to walk away for 2
Yeah,
weeks
I'm
and
gonna
leave
walk
it in the
away for a
hands
couple
of,
weeks,
of
yeah.
people that have only been there for X amount of time. So,
Yeah.
I can imagine that's
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that in the summertime, like next summer, fall, really. Usually we like to tour in fall because it sucks here. Florida is terrible in the fall, August, September.
Yeah.
It's always terrible. We go up north and we get away and we go to where the leaves are changing.
I'm thinking that that because we share James with Killbillies and Butch, that I think we should do a Butch Killbillies tour. We should all
That'd be
pile
awesome.
into the Armada.
Yeah.
We'll put a trailer in the back,
I'm-
and away we go.
Both
amazing.
bands could have a lot of extra members and be
Yeah,
totally
totally.
fine.
Yeah.
Interchangeable pieces.
Oh man, I'd be totally down to sit in with you guys on a few
Right?
songs.
That'd be
know?
so much fun, dude.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got Ty on drums on some Killbilly stuff. We got Joe come in and do some guitar work or whatever. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah, man. You know what? I've thought about that many times, but now it's like been digitally recorded, so we gotta do it.
It's out there.
Now it has to happen.
And the tour needs to have a stop at Sun Studios in Memphis so we can record the
Yes.
Killbillies album.
Oh yeah, so
Yes.
we had this
That'd be cool.
idea, yeah, where we wanted to go and do it. The idea was that we were going to drive to Memphis, do a couple of gigs on the way, record an album or however many songs, and then come back and do a couple of gigs and record the whole thing. Because it was like with Killbillies and everything, it'd be a pretty neat kind of angle to do the Sun Studios because it's that kind of country sort of thing and everything.
Oh,
But yeah,
Sun
why don't we
Studios
tie it
TV.
all into
But
like a giant mega tour?
Yeah,
and
now I'm
just
thinking Killbillies Butch, tour with a split 4 to 6 song EP at Sun Studios. Now we're talking.
I'm all about that.
And when we played Boston, you guys headline, and when we play Memphis, we
Yeah.
Actually, we should do it the other way around just to really throw people off.
Right?
yeah, it's funny how incestuous the scene is down here. Everyone's played with everyone else at some point, and that's that can be a double-edged sword, but I think it's mostly a great thing. I think I've met all my best friends through playing music down here.
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean, Hector and I are in Euphoria together.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exacy.
And
like-
you mentioned Joey earlier. I play with his band, Jazilla, too.
There's 12 bands sitting at this table right now, which is crazy.
Just putting
Yeah.
all the bands that are here together. It's really sick.
We should do a festival, and it'd be 8 guys doing
and
playing.
it's
Just
all
constantly changing
yeah.
back and forth, switching instruments.
That'd be epic.
So the
So when are we doing this?
what the festival?
Yeah. I started.
I know, right?
Gotta put the PTO in.
Yeah, we have to get on it for sure. So you've done live streams out of here. How have you enjoyed them? And tell us a little bit about your experiences doing live streams out of here.
I think the fact that we've done several of them now is
Yeah.
cool because it's a different perspective each time.
Yeah.
Like the first time you do it, there's no way if you've never done it to prepare for the end of a song.
Yeah.
The song ends and you're on your fade out and you're just like, cool.
All right.
So I think we gotta do another song now.
Yeah.
So
Someone writes "Yay!" and you see it on the screen. That's all you get.
when Yaz was on here, I thought he did something that was hilarious and cool. He just needed it to be right, so he had a keyboard behind him that he just had applause on. So in between his songs, I thought that was a really good idea because that was
pretty funny.
the silence. I think it's awesome because it's like studio quality while playing live, but at
Yeah.
the same point, it's
It is odd, isn't it?
a little odd.
Yeah. I know that comedians have been having a terrible time with it because they are reliant on people laughing.
Yeah,
It's
how
like
do
they
you
have no idea how it's
Yeah.
going. if
Yeah,
you're
how
not
do you
laughing.
feed off the audience? And again, you're talking about energy shows and stuff like that. You can't get the energy out there if you're not getting any back to give it
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, we just played a couple Saturdays ago. We just had that show at or last Saturday, whatever it was, at O'Shea's for my wife's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those nights where it just clicked, and we just had an amazing crowd all night long, and like everything we played. I mean, like God, we could have like thrown the guitar on the floor and stepped on it. People would be like, "Woohoo!"
We wouldn't have cared at all.
Like people were just enjoying, and it was just there was such energy in that room that I had such a good time and fed off of that. So. Yeah, I mean, I've done the live streams, and there's a lot of pluses to it, but that is the one, the one negative is that you get to the end of the live stream and you go, oh, okay.
Right, we need everyone who's watching it to have their own mics too, and then you
right. Like, exactly. If they had like a one mass mic and just heard them like wooing a little, in any way, shape, or form, it would be a little bit helpful. It's just like so nothing.
You just need to have Justin like pump in like a crowd applause or something at the end of every song, so that you feel the energy a little bit.
Then you start tripping out that you were on like a sitcom or something.
The Scooby Doo laugh track.
No, but I mean, I know that I was glad that we did it. We did it right back in December and ended up using the audio to put a live record out, and it's that. It's nothing like playing live, but it's cool that it's a thing now. And if there's any sort of benefits from the awful couple of years we've been through, it's that these facilities now exist. The live music community included. Everyone's really up their game.
And all when I watched all the live music community stuff, I love it. I watch it on my TV, and it's like it's in HD. It's nice.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy that. Like, but at the same point, it's not like you said. It's not the same with the energy. It's
but you hit something there that's kind of a nice benefit. A nice benefit to the live stream versus just playing somewhere is, you play somewhere and, back to that show the other day, we played and there was a lot of energy and I walked away feeling great. But I have no idea what we looked like, and I have no idea what we sounded like. You walk away from the live stream, you go home, and you watch it again and again and again, and you can pick out the stuff you like, you can pick out the stuff you don't like, and you can critique yourself and do better the next time.
Then you hear it from your bandmates every time how you messed up the intro to a song that we did on a live stream.
But it's nice. It's nice to have that recording to go back and actually watch yourself and see yourself, which you don't ever get a chance to do. So that's got to be a nice
Oh, I got a funny anecdote about that. Right at the beginning of when I was in Sonic Boom 6, there was when mini discs were a thing, and and the sound guy had recorded our set onto mini disc. And we were all really pumped to hear it, because we had this sort of idea of what we thought we sounded like in our head. We all heard it and we were just horrified. We were just like, oh my God, that's what we sound. It was so embarrassing to listen to. It was like we were all singing out of tune like crazy. My guitar was out of tune, just crashing, walloping. It sounded like a band falling down a flight of stairs.
It's terrible.
But luckily, I guess it's a good thing we did hear that, because we got significantly better after that. But yeah, being able to critique yourself in that detail of a manner is definitely a cool thing.
For sure.
Yeah. So on the subject of playing music, why don't you guys play us a couple of songs?
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
All right, let's do it.
See you soon.
I think about sex. I think about money.
Think about weed, that reminds me, pass the bong.
I think about food.
What's in my tummy? About all the things I can say to you in this song. I think about my future. I think about where I'm gonna be. Think about my friends and my crazy family. I wanna get to know you. Dream about the things I cannot see. Wanna leave and travel with you. You and me are a reality.
All these thoughts and emotions,
I don't know why I keep them bottled up inside.
all this stress.
Stop the commotion. It took time, but I remodeled myself right. I wanna get to know you. First I had to learn who I could be. Wanna leave the trouble with you. You and me are oh reality. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. I wanna get to know you. Dream about the things I cannot see. Wanna leave the trouble with you. You and me are oh reality. Wanna leave the trouble with you. You and me are oh reality. Wanna leave the trouble with you. You and me are oh reality. If I could show you this world, would you take my hand? Would you take my hand and fly above this blue earth and view distant lands, and view distant lands in our spaceship made of sand, in our spaceship. We will view distant lands in our spaceship. In our spaceship made of sand, in our spaceship, we will view distant lands. If I could show you this world, would you take my hand? Would you take my hand and fly above this blue earth and view distant lands, and view distant lands in our spaceship? In our spaceship made of cans, in our spaceship, we will view distant lands. In our spaceship made of cans, in our spaceship, we will view distant lands. If I could show you this world, would you take my hand? Would you take my hand and fly above this blue earth and view distant lands, and view distant lands? If I could show you this world, would you take my hand? Would you take my hand and fly above this blue earth and view distant lands, and view distant lands? If
This episode is brought to you by Handlebars Bar and Grill, which is it's a biker bar up in Tequesta, which is between Jupiter and Stewart, up on US 1 there in right on the border of Palm Beach County and Martin County. It's a bar that my father-in-law Peter Pinello reopened. It used to be called Judy's, and it was just a real kind of like legendary hole in the wall place where it just has parking for bikes out front, and if you come in a car, then you can park on the places either side. But it really is like a bona fide biker bar, and it has a crew of guys who are always there, but it's also very welcoming to new people and to anyone who wants to come and check it out. And recently we've been upping our game with the music, and so what we've been doing is we've got every second Thursday of the month, we have a bike night from 6 to 9. And then on the Saturdays, we're going to start doing music from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening. And on Sundays, we're doing 2 to 5 p.m. And so we've got a gig coming up, actually, this weekend we got Jeff Livingston is going to be playing.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's awesome musician. It's Saturday, June 19th, and he's playing with his friend Jim Siggy. I'm really looking forward to that. He kills it. He's a local musician who's been around here for ages. We should get him on the show, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because he's a very talented guy. He used to play a lot with Vince, and he's been in all sorts of. I know he plays with the Shareholders now as well, and you know, he's kept busy for decades playing music around here. So he, you know, I'm sure he has some fantastic stories. But anyway, yeah, he's going to come and play up at Handlebars. So thank you very much, Handlebars, for sponsoring the episode.
Yeah, good food, a lot of good beers on tap.
Yeah, yeah,
and
you come and
friendly
meet Jamie,
service.
the bar,
Yeah.
the lady behind the bar. She's real cool.
Yeah.
And the original Judy's had a lot of different lagers on tap, and we wanted to kind of honor that. So we have a great selection of beer in there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And
So
a lot of good bands that have been playing there on Monday.
yeah,
Band.
I have a list of some of the guys that are playing there over the next month or so. We've got you may have heard of News from Bree. We've got Slip Mahoney, who is a from Slip and the Spinouts. He's a regular. He plays up there a lot. We've got Sons of a Tradesman playing there on July 8th. We've got Power Cats. We've got Fox Maple and the Glorious Strays and Jerry and the Hurricanes. A whole litany of different acts. And at the moment, I'm the one who's booking the bands there at the moment, and I'm trying to just mix it up and see what sticks right now. You know, just try a few different things out. So if you want to come and see some interesting music, and you know, it's not going to be the same thing every time. So you come and just, who knows what you're going to, especially for the next couple of months. Yeah. There's going to be a great selection of music while we kind of, settle into, what works and what doesn't work. So it's going to be an exciting month for music up there.
Spectacular, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Handlebars. We appreciate the sponsorships.
So, thanks so much for playing those songs, guys. That was great.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
I enjoyed it.
Listening to that stuff, I've heard many times, and to hear it acoustically was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's different to do it acoustically for sure. But it's a way to showcase off what we like doing the most in the songs, though, and most in our music.
Yeah, the harmonies are really solid. And the chorus and the hooks are great too. Tyler, can you tell us a little bit about what the songs were about?
Just trying to get away, like out of my own head, kind of thing,
Right.
So the second song that we sang was in our spaceship. I don't know where I got that from, but
I just wrote a song with a spaceship in it.
It's cool, man. There's a lot of good songs with space and spaceships. And
absolutely.
I just like the idea, but it's like kind of trying to get out of my own head is really where it's at.
I can relate to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Live in the moment and get out of your racing thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it really brought me back to the days when you used to play cajon with Gillbillies.
I know, I missed that too.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
We'll have to have you come do a special guest spot at one of our
That'll be awesome.
gigs.
Yeah, totally.
So are either one of those songs, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but are either one of those songs on any of your albums, or is this all new material?
They're not on an album, but we have played them in our live streams that we've done here.
Yeah.
So at least you can hear them on YouTube, but they sound like not acoustically.
And
I don't think we've done our own reality.
Yeah, I think we did it in the first one, and we did
maybe.
Spaceship in our most recent one.
Okay.
Are they on the new album?
They will be.
It will be on the new album. Yeah.
Right. There's that line. What's in my tummy?
That's the best line in punk rock.
the biggest line in punk rock. I swear to God.
It is. When he said it, we were like, "It's perfect." It was perfect.
I don't know why. I think I know why it works. It's because it has this wonderful kind of naivety to it.
Yes.
It's very sweet sounding,
Yeah.
I think, and in amongst this kind of sort of rough and tumble kind of song, like you have this sort of moment of innocence and naivety, which I think just works so well. Yeah. It's lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Oh, come on. Yeah, so I guess, the next thing that we do on the show is we talk about gear, and I don't think we're going to do a pedal board this week, but instead we're going to talk to you about your amps and how you dial in your tone and what you use. What do you use, James?
I use Orange.
Right.
I use all orange amps, and I don't even barely use any pedals anymore. I used to use a couple overdrive pedals, and I still kind of sometimes use an overdrive pedal just to get some zing on there and make it stand out a little bit more. But 9 times out of 10, I can get almost all the tone I want, all the mid-range and punch that I really want to get out of the head that I have.
Yeah,
Just an
cool.
orange
Yeah, it's
head?
it's the orange head on an orange cabinet. So it's the orange. I think it's the OBX1.
Okay.
It's like their I want to say 500 watt AB amp. It's not a Class D, so it seems to just have a little bit more
punch to it.
presence. Yeah, a little bit more presence for the wattage.
Right.
And I usually do it on my hollow body bass, which gives it also a nice, different, like warm tone.
That's a cool bass. I love that
Definitely my
bass.
baby.
And like, do you have any kind of role models in terms of tone? Like, is there anyone that you, when you were setting out to create your tone, that you wanted to emulate?
Yeah, definitely like Matt from Rancid.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, his tone just like you can hear it zinging through.
Yeah.
All the time, no matter how, with both of those ridiculous guitarists, you could still hear it, no problem. It had its own space.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. What about you, Joe? What are you using?
So I didn't get the memo of getting a picture of the pedal board.
Yeah,
But
don't worry about
I
that.
use a deluxe reverb, Fender amp, and I use Fender guitars pretty much mostly.
Right.
And then just effects-wise, I always have an overdrive and a fuzz, just because, you know, some of the punkier punk songs I like to throw the fuzz on. Otherwise,
Yeah.
just get that extra boost if it's a fast song with overdrive.
Yeah, cool. Do you have a favorite pedal?
I have
Yes,
this.
he does.
I
It's that
do.
freaking stupid
It's one that I
liquid
don't. Yeah, I have a nice
reverb
reverb pedal that
It's
I
not
get-
stupid. It's an amazing pedal, but it's
It was.
it can be vicious.
Some small New Zealand company. I just stumbled into it and bought it. Like I can't even tell who it's made by anymore. I don't remember. All the face is worn off.
Right.
'Cause it's like hand painted and stuff. But
Does it create just big sort of like washes and
yeah, it's a liquid
soundscapes?
reverb with, and it'll do a octave up and down on the
Oh, right.
reverb through, or it'll do a fifth up and down.
Oh, cool.
That's
Or
pretty
a
awesome.
bend, where if you leave it on the bend and you hold one of the buttons on it, it will up or down, just horror movie style bend the note away.
Oh, wow. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It really is
I
a
try to
cool
use it as
pedal.
sparingly as possible because it's an overwhelming pedal. But
you can fill up the room with it in 2 seconds.
had to buy
flat.
had to buy a compression pedal because if I combine it with anything, I just triple in volume.
So seeing as we're kind of going around the room and doing it a bit differently this week, do you have any specific gear that you...
My
you
pedals is Tama.
Yeah, there you go.
Well played.
So, but yeah, I have a Tama Rockstar. I like it a lot. I've had it since my dad got it for me back in the way day.
Yeah.
So I've had it my whole life, pretty much.
In terms of snares, do you have a type of snare that you prefer?
Yeah, I like pork
Yes.
pie.
Yeah.
Pork pie snares. I have a little squealer, and I have the big bobs
Cool.
The eye shaker.
eye shaker, and I also have a Mapex Identity kit. That is like that customize your own kit kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I have different size drums and
That's the one that you've got like a 1 up 2 down configuration for your toms, or like 2 floor toms, or
yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, one rack,
and
2 floor.
floors, yeah.
And they're all like much deeper, you know.
Yeah.
That one's got a very.
Yeah.
That's the kit I record with. So
Right.
any like real recording that we have, it's that kit that you're hearing.
Okay, nice.
But any live show I do the Tama Rockstar. It's just
Awesome.
my beater kit, you know.
So I guess you guys don't have any shows coming up immediately, do you? Not right now.
Nah, studio work is really we're trying to get this done. Because
Yeah.
we got so close to it before, we need to like
Uh,
finish it and get the stuff out so we can.
I can
get
relate,
it.
man. I can relate. Like like we're at a point with No Name where we
Yeah,
has had
it's
this
a huge
thing.
hiatus.
Yeah,
Massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make sure to, when the show comes out, we always put in the show notes, whether it's the YouTube version or the podcast version. We put, for whoever the guest is, we put all the links to all your social media and your website and YouTube and anything like that. So we'll make sure to put links to your live streams from Live Music Community
Excellent,
here.
yeah.
Because if
But we'll probably do another one of those again soon.
Yeah.
But those are definitely the most recent stuff that we've done.
yeah, I figure you guys don't have any shows coming up, so if somebody wants to check you out, what better way than to
Yeah.
watch an
Yeah.
actual show on there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
they
our
came
last
out-
one really had a good selection of our new music that
Cool.
like some of our best stuff.
But
Yeah,
if
cool.
somebody really wants to really get like like a good feel for who Butch is, they have to watch the Christmas one because you're all wearing freaking onesie pajamas
Yeah,
and
that
stuff.
was-
And that
Yeah.
was just epic.
Yeah, it was a ton
It
of
was
fun
the
to
least
do.
comfy I've ever been in a onesie. It was
Oh,
so
you
hot.
had to be sweating.
Every time I've worn a onesie on stage, it's the most vicious thing ever. It's so hot on there. Like
The fact-
you go into it thinking it's gonna be okay. You're like, it's not.
It's totally fine.
it's
We're just playing
cold
a couple
out.
songs.
It's gonna
We'll be
be
fine.
okay.
We're indoors.
We're inside.
I
We
think-
have fans. All these things. It's within the first song. You're like, I'm totally covered in sweat. I'm drenched.
I think it's pretty epic to be able to say, you know, that you wore a onesie on stage, but the fact that you could actually say every time I've worn a like that's crazy. How
Okay,
many
so-
times have you worn
So
a
hang
onesie
on.
So wait,
Hang
so-
on.
So Handlebars, you know, this biker bar, we went and played at the States MC Clubhouse,
Oh wow.
and I wore a Grumpy Bear onesie.
Oh my god!
He shows up as a freaking Care Bear.
Yeah,
At a
It was-
motorcycle club.
yeah.
How did
it
that
was
go
their
over?
Halloween. It was their Halloween party, and I showed up in a Grumpy Bear onesie.
That's pretty tough, man. I'm impressed.
It was
It's
amazing.
hilarious.
It was a
They
blast.
They had to have loved it though.
They did. We had so much. We had so much fun. They were pouring whiskey down our throats while we were
Oh,
playing.
that was something else.
They wanted you to
Brought the
fall out
funnel
while you were
out.
playing.
Yeah.
That was like their goal.
That's
I
awesome.
think it sounds like Butch is vying to get a Handlebars gig.
Yeah, there you go.
I heard diversity in a lot of different acts.
Yeah, yeah. We should totally get you.
You need to test where your volume limits are.
Absolutely. All right. So listen.
We'll do our shameless Killbillies plug for next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, you're going on holiday, so we actually only have one gig this week, and it is Friday night at Sailfish Brewing in Fort Pierce.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so
yeah.
come see us.
Yeah, so if you want to see James, come down to Sailfish Brewing.
It's a cool spot, and Zach Jones, who was on last week, does all the booking for there and a whole bunch of multimedia stuff for them, and it's a really cool place. I love that place.
Yeah, it's a killer spot.
Is that the place we did on the New Year's?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, that
that's
place
the
was
one
a ton of fun.
That's the
Yeah.
place. Yeah, that's the place where we play on
Yeah.
that like front porch patio looking thing or something, and people were walking by the sidewalk and like
Yeah,
stopping
we've
and
stopped
listening.
a lot of people there. It was like
Yeah.
you're on a good spot where like a lot of people walk by.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cool spot. It's a really cool spot. So
It is. It's the new face of Fort Pierce, somewhat. You know, like a different vibe down up there in Fort Pierce.
What a thing to say.
and then next week, and I'm air quoting for those that are just listening. Next week, because we're recording it in about 20 minutes from now, Rocky Rucker, bass extraordinaire, is going to be on.
Yeah,
on the show.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Stay
round,
tuned for that one.
all round
Yeah, for real.
musician and friend and
Yeah.
a scholar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want to talk about? We were saying earlier how there's like 12 bands represented at this table. You could just sit Rocky here, and there's 12 bands represented at the table. You know? So
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, guys. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys stopping by. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for
You know,
coming
like
on,
I said,
guys.
we'll put all your links in the show notes and everything, and try to get some people out to see you once you guys start getting out and start doing some live stuff again, and keep us posted on your albums and stuff.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Let
Sure,
us
man.
let us know, and we'll share it on the
Thank you
561
for having
Music
us.
page. Yeah,
It's great seeing you
Yeah,
guys
it was
again.
great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Good seeing you guys again.
Thanks, man.
See you later.
Bye.